Gale.
So up next is some Carlitos.
The notification is always watching.
Great.
So out October 9th on 4K Ultra HD in a regular and Steelbook edition from Universal is Carlito's Way. So we have no news on features or the transfer at this point in time. All we have is the art. We've got the regular art and we've got the Steelbook art. Now the regular art, what appears as of now, the original poster art. Al Pacino, his silhouette against like a street lamp or something. He's got a gun, it's a little mysterious. Then you've got the Steelbook art, which makes this look like Heat or something, where you've got Al Pacino.
Don't insult Heat.
I mean, I don't know what this is trying to do. The fact that they put Sean Penn on this cover, and they're not trying to make him look menacing, thankfully. He's just there. But the way it's red, and there's like the city skylines below, and you got a gun on the back, and Al Pacino's got his aviators on. It just looks like this is some movie that it's not. I don't know.
Like
Maybe
Top
I'm wrong.
Gun.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Gale.
Gale.
What did you do with this Steelbook cover?
I know. I'm surprised, actually, based on what I'm seeing here, that they don't have Benny Blanco as a floating head on there too, and you know, Penelope Ann Miller, and like the bottom looking worried or something like that.
Viggo Mortensen in a wheelchair in the top right corner.
It looks like one of those floating head, like terribly done art jobs here. But nonetheless, I'm excited for this 4K release. I am. I've owned this movie on DVD, never Blu-ray. But I am excited to rewatch this movie again in a 4K presentation. I think it's going to probably do the film a little bit of wonders, I'm sure. But as far as the movie goes, it's a really good movie, and it's an interesting movie, I think, in Al Pacino's catalog. But would you call it, like, cheesy? I think it's, you know, it's supposed to be some, like, hard-edged gangster or whatever, but it doesn't come across that way to me.
This is, for DePalma's filmography, this is honestly around the time, look, he started to fall off. And I say that he is one of, if not my favorite director.
Who?
The sentimentality in this feels a little off.
That's what I mean.
Juxtaposed with the gangster elements.
Yes.
But I think that's the story. Scarface is just straight excess.
Yes.
It's almost, it's just straight. There is no conscience. There is no attempt at sentimentality, where this has that. I think this is where De Palma, in my opinion, has always succeeded, in that he makes subversive comedy that Tarantino does this as well, and De Palma is one of his heroes. Comedy that as you said, you sometimes kind of like, was that? It's not straightforward. It's not a punchline. It's just he's toying. He has fun with it.
Maybe I don't remember the last time I blew my nose either.
Al Pacino, he's played pretty much everything. You've had obviously American, obviously Italian. Here he's playing Puerto Rican.
He was Cuban in Scarface.
And Cuban in Scarface, you're right. I forgot to mention that. Cuban in Scarface. So you had Cuban, you have Italian, you have American. Now you're Puerto Rican. And he's definitely trying to deliver the lines with a Puerto Rican like dialect or accent. Sometimes it just comes across a little silly to me.
Jive ass, Maricon motherfuckers.
All right, well, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like he's got a lisp or something. I don't know. There's something about his delivery that just sometimes makes me
there's
chuckle.
something about his delivery. Let's also take into account that once Scent of a Woman happened, Al Pacino never talked the same ever again.
Hoo-ah. 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 Hoo-ah.
But Leguizamo was awesome in this, and so was Penn.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
all the acting, I feel like all the characters in this movie, Penelope Ann Miller is fine.
She's not given anything to do beyond just being someone to pine after.
Yeah,
you know?
and she's an interesting love interest to be pining after in the first place.
Wait a second, Charlie. I work hard here.
Even, like, it was hard for me to kind of imagine her and him together back in the day.
I bought it.
Did you?
Yeah, I bought it.
Ew.
I don't know. This is a great movie.
No, I love this movie too, and you mentioned Viggo also. This was the first movie I ever saw Viggo Mortensen in. I didn't even know who Viggo Mortensen was, and then later on, you know, I see him in a ton of other things, and then come back to revisit this movie. I'm like, holy shit, Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, old school, baby.
One thing I know you and I have talked about before, Russ, and I want to talk about it again, that really ultimately the thing that bothers me the most about this movie, even though I love this movie and I will definitely pick this up day one, is that it has always bothered me that they show the ending of this movie in the beginning.
Oh, do we agree on that?
I think we have agreed over time.
Yes, that is my only issue with this movie.
It bothers me.
Because you've got this great, beautifully shot, intense showdown, climax,
race to the
end,
finish.
But
amazing.
we know the end. We know what happens.
Yep, that spoils it.
Yeah,
That's exactly literally what I was going to say. What an amazing ending. that race to get to the train. Everything's against him. Is he going to make it or is he not going to make it? Like everything like hinges upon that moment. But you already know how the shit goes down.
Hey, remember me?
What's sad about it is instead of it becoming, wow, does he get away? We've been watching this whole movie. Does he get to start his life over?
Yeah.
Now we know it doesn't happen. And we're just wondering, so who is it that kills him?
Absolutely. And even like you mentioned too, Scarface, right? You could have done something similar and shown him getting killed because you know this guy's going down. Like in this movie, you want him to succeed. Like you're hoping for him to succeed.
It actually would have made more sense to show that in Scarface. I'm not saying I want that to happen in Scarface, but there's no literal other end for Tony Montana than death. Yes.
And an insane death. But here,
good call. Yeah,
dude, it's like they blew it, dude. They really did. And in fact, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but I've shown this movie to people over time where I've been present while we've watched it, and I've literally skipped that beginning and started it right at the courthouse.
That's blasphemy. I would never do that.
I did.
You just George Lucas Carlito's
I
way.
I know, and I kind of
friends and family.
I know. I've never. I don't think there's any time I've ever done anything like that before. But it pissed me off so much that movie was ruined for me in that way. It's as if you got spoiled before you watched it. It's like, hey, guess what? He dies at the end.
Yeah.
Doesn't ruin it, but I'm with you. It is unnecessary, and it's
Tell me below who thinks it ruins it.
It's the only gripe I have with it.
Yeah, maybe we can do like a poll down below. Let us know. But otherwise, great movie, great pickup.
Skip the Steelbook.
Skip the Steelbook for sure. Don't get the Steelbook. Unless you're a Steelbook collector and
unless you're a Sean Penn collector.
Dave is my friend. Gail, I owe him.
Definitely get the regular edition. We'll have the poster the way that you remember it. You don't need Sean Penn here.
Also, pick up the Rise to Power DVD.
Let's look at that. What's the label on there for the second Carlito's Way, which is not included in this release?
Oh, well, this was the Ultimate Edition they put out back in, who cares? This was a tie-in for the long-forgotten direct-to-video Carlito's Way, Rise to Power, available on DVD September 27th.
Again, look at this DVD slipcase, right? It's the art you know, but it's done in a classier way. They just make it a little bit more reflective. You still have the Al Pacino silhouette there. This could be the Steelbook. Why isn't this the Steelbook?
But Gail, look at this. Even on my Ultimate Edition, they got these stupid
snappers.
Oh my God, Gail. No wonder they killed me.
Oh, look at this. For the Ultimate Edition DVD, it's literally a side A, side B, widescreen, full screen.
The worst. At any rate, October 9th, out on 4K Ultra HD. Pick it up.